those are the few question marks, is the 9 and the midfield for me. Obviously, I know you're probably really keen on the center back position, but
I mean, it's interesting. I think there's questions in every line of the field, right? Right now we have a goalkeeper question as to who is our proper number one, and without Zach Steffen coming in, that debate's still going to be raging into the September window.
No, come on.
You think it's still so? Zach Steffen no matter what?
No.
You think it's Matt Turner? See, that's the thing.
No, but I'm saying I don't think there's a question, because if Steffen's not there, it makes it ezy, because a lot of people think Matt Turner should be the one. So then you're like, all right, well, Matt Turner's the one, and everyone thinks he should be the one because he's playing for the moment.
Of course.
Right.
But okay, for June he's in, but I feel like maybe if there's any moves that happen in the summer transfer window that could change perspectives, not only for the goalkeepers, but for any of the players in the roster. That September window ends up becoming really important, because if Gio Reyna, let's use him as an example, isn't available for those 2 games, that means Gio Reyna hasn't played for the national team in a meaningful way or consistently for over a year at that point. It's crazy. And so then you like, we got to start the guy. He's got the talent, obviously, to start for our national team, but if he hasn't really been involved, it's going to get tricky, I think. It could be him, because he has been injury prone lately. That one's going to be an interesting call on him in particular, because we do have other options. We've proven we can have success even if he's not on the field, even though I do believe he makes our team better. Now, I do look at it from, and let's scale back and let's talk a little bit more macro for everybody out there that uses these business terms, right? Let's get out of the little nitty gritty and let's pull back a little bit, because whatever the starting 11 is in these upcoming games, specifically Morocco and Uruguay, I want to see us play whatever 11 we use for at least 60 minutes. And the reason I say that is because things are going to happen in these games where we're going to have to solve problems on the field. And you need to be able to look around at guys and be like, I know what he's going to do in that particular situation. I know how we're going to move in a group if the ball's up high. I know what Serginho Dest is going to do in this particular situation. I know what Musa is going to do. Whatever. We need to understand that, because it's going to make every line of the field better. We have to be super organized when we're pressing, because when we win the ball, that'll help us transition from defense to attack. Now, I say that, and I say 60 minutes because I feel like when I first came on, I'm like, okay, I think maybe minimum 45 minutes. But then I thought, what's incredibly valuable, Chuck, is that if a coaching staff comes in and says, hey, guys, this is what happened in the first half. We need to do these 3 things to address these concerns, that we need to give that same team at least 15 minutes in the second half to implement what the coaching staff is saying. And the coaching staff needs to know which players can actually take that information and apply it in a meaningful way. And if we only give guys 45 minutes and we start 45 minutes and then all of a sudden we make 3 changes at halftime, we never allow a flow or rhythm to exist within the team, that rapport and camaraderie and trust in high-pressure situations. But the problem is on this, Chuck, and I can't wait to get your thoughts on this, but the problem with this is if we give more minutes to a specific group, that takes away minutes and opportunities for guys that we want to see that have kind of been on the fringes who probably deserve a chance as well.
And that goes right into the number 9 conversation. Mm-hmm. I want to see Haji Wright. I want to see what he looks like with this group. I want to see.
Do you want to start him? You should start him then.
But at the same time, Jesus Ferreira, who's on a tear right now, why wouldn't you test him against Morocco and Uruguay?
Right.
Because that'll give you a better indication if this is a striker, because he's in the form he's in right now, and he I guess he gels well with this group. If he can't produce against Morocco and Uruguay, he's answered the question for you. And it's not so much goals and assists, but how he plays. Is he impactful? Does he make good runs into the channels? Can he stretch the back line like he does in MLS right now? If he can do that, then you're saying, okay, I have confidence that he could lead the line possibly in Qatar. Now,
I like that.
The flip side is, I know what he can produce. Maybe I go Haji Wright against Morocco, or I start Haji Wright against Uruguay and see how that looks. Maybe in training, he gives you a good indication that, all right, maybe we can use him as a super sub. You never know how the trainings are. And I think that's going to play into who starts at right back. Is it Yedlin? Is it Scally? Or is it Cannon? Right? That's a 3 players who could start, and I don't think you'd have a problem either way. Because I feel like Yedlin has done really well with Inter Miami, even though Inter Miami have struggled. I think he's been one of the bright spots on that team. Joe Scally, he's playing at Mönchengladbach. He had an up and down season, but he's got minutes. A lot of people have been clamoring to see him. And then Reggie Cannon's had a really solid year playing consistently, and he's had a lot going against him. So talk about the mental toughness to still stay in it, try and leave. You're not playing, you're out of the squad, and now he's a consistent starter. So for me, that's a great one. And then I think center back Vickers or Long. I mean, Cameron Carter-Vickers, he had a great season, but if he comes into training and they're off, I think that kind of helps. That forces Gregg Berhalter's hand.
Okay. What's interesting is, and this is going to happen. I already know it's going to happen. Can I just put a stamp on this 100% guarantee?
Give it to me.
We're not going to probably start a player that's on the fringes, right? Let's just say Georgi Mihailovic. But then we're going to start him against Granada. And then all of a sudden he's going to blow up and have like 2 goals and 2 assists. Like,
we've seen that. Oh my God.
But it's Granada. And what, could he do it against Morocco or Uruguay? We didn't give him the chance to do that. And that's going to be like, well, we should continue to play him, right? And El Salvador is going to obviously provide a different type of challenge in terms of they're going to sit back in their 2 blocks or their 2 lines and help and force us to break them down. And I think we're going to get some questions answered in that particular game too, because whether we have leads in the World Cup or not, there's probably going to be a game where we have a lead or the other team has a lead. And how do we manage it there? Can we bring somebody on when, let's say Iran gets a lead on us? We've gone through this before. We've played the El Salvadors and Granadas of the world that are going to sit back behind the ball, and now we have to break them down. So which of those players can come in and help us? These are interesting questions that need to be answered as well. But with regard to the center back position, we need to find the best partner. If Walker Zimmerman's the guy, we need to find the best center back partnership. And what I mean by that is, who is the best yin to Walker's yang, if that's who we're going to go with?
Right.
Okay. I feel like everything's still up for discussion, but Miles Robinson is out. We can't count on him to be ready for the World Cup. He tore his Achilles, and that sucks in so many different ways, and for him personally. But we have to move forward and start to plan accordingly, obviously. So when I say that, once we figure out the center back partnership, then it kind of extends from there. Who does Anthony Robinson like to play with? Who does he like to have? Who does he trust to cover his back when he goes forward? Conversely, on the right side, when Serginho Dest bombs forward, who's the best player? Who has the best rapport and best communication to put Serginho and kind of joystick him into the best spots for him to make plays? And then Tyler Adams needs to come into the conversation. Who does he like to play in front of? Who gives them good information to step into necessary passing lanes? These are the questions that have to get answered. And then I think everything starts to extend from there. And also, to your point, I know we want to get into the number 9 thing, and I think that your point about Jesus Ferreira playing against Morocco or Uruguay has to happen, because we need to see if he can do it against the best teams at our disposal. But I also want to see a Haji Wright. I almost feel like Haji Wright being relatively new to the team in this particular squad, and Greg, maybe you give him the second game, which is Uruguay, and you give Jesus Ferreira the Morocco game, and then Haji Wright can be a sub in the first one and then come and start the second one, something like that. But we still want to see Timo Weah play up in the number 9 just to see what it looks like. So there's a lot of things, but also this is an opportunity because from what I understand, Weston McKennie is going to get, it was said prior to him coming off the bench against Juve or for Juve in the last game of the season in Serie A that he was going to get limited minutes. So what does that mean? Does he start and then you take him off at halftime, or do we bring him on? I'm curious about that, because it could be an opportunity for us to maybe slide somebody into that number 10 spot, like a Brendan Aronson, Pulisic on one side, Way on the other, and then we have a Haji Wright or Jesus Ferreira up top. But I'm looking. There's honestly, like I said before, there's questions at every single line.
There is, and I could see within the second half him start to tinker in that manner. So whether it's Haji Wright or Jesus Ferreira playing up top, then it's okay. Maybe we're going to take them off and move Timo Weah up top. And so Weah as the 9, and maybe you're moving Brendan Aronson out wide to the right, or you're taking Weston off and then you're moving Brendan Aronson inside, and you're putting, it could be Paul Arriola because he's been playing so well right now with FC Dallas. But those are the kind of things that you could expect from Gregg Berhalter, is maybe not starting them in that position, but in the second half, starting to tinker and giving players an opportunity. I know we still have Chris Richards, who is injured. Rain is injured. Dest is injured. So I'm looking at these guaranteed, I guess, starters and the people you don't really necessarily have to worry about. You don't have to worry about the left back. You don't have to, which is Anthony Robinson. That is locked. No matter, the only thing that would,
he's our number 1.
The only thing that could ever happen is an injury. That is it. He's playing 90 minutes.
That injury would be really significant to our team.
Significant.
Because I don't think we have a out-and-out number 2.
Zimmerman
which is where Joe Scally comes in, because he can play both sides. But go ahead.
Right.
Walker Zimmerman's a lock.
And then Walker Zimmerman's a lock. I'd say right back is a lock, because not only do you have Sergiño Dest there, but you have Yedlin and Cannon for sure. And now Joe Scally will get his chance to see what he looks like. That left center back, that's up for debate. And Aaron Long, I think, has partnered with Zimmerman before. Probably that's where Gregg is leaning towards. If Eric Palmer Brown is probably the one that I would suggest, just off of form and how he's playing in the French Liga. I mean, he's done a very good job to finish the season out. But I think just off of chemistry and relationship, I would expect Aaron Long to get the start in this one.
Do you feel like Aaron Long and Walker Zimmerman
are the same? That they don't really complement each other?
Right. That's my only concern about that particular partnership, is that maybe they have some of the similar traits. What I do like about Eric Palmer Brown is that he's quietly very good with his feet. And we might need somebody like that to help potentially spray balls to get us out of particular situations, change the point of attack potentially. Not to say the other guys can't do it, but I think Eric Palmer Brown can do it a little bit more consistently, or at least from what I've seen. So I'm curious as to that being a particular edge that he could have over everybody else. But these are the things that we have to get answers for, right? We have a ton of questions coming into this, and it's absolutely batshit crazy that we only have 6 games to work together as a group prior to the World Cup starting. Again, I know there's going to be friendlies, and there's probably going to be, inter-squad scrimmages behind the scenes, and they'll get some questions answered. I don't know if they're going to get questions answered. They're just going to have things crystallized in their mind. They probably already had an idea about certain players in certain situations, and now they're going to be tested, whether it's behind closed doors or in these 6 games.